Hi peeps, Junction 6 here, and today there's no lexicon of Blitz. I've decided to put lexicon on a hold for a while because I want to do a series talking about this. The Tale of Jenny and Screech. This is probably the most important, unbelievably fantastic piece of art I've ever seen. It's 3 videos, music videos, songs. I don't know how to explain it. You've got to watch it. It is incredible. Honestly, you guys will be blown away by it. It is art. It's the most moving, most emotional, most action-filled. It's got everything. It's a film. And it's by a guy called Ren. It's spelt R-E-N. Now, before I do anything else, I want you to just stop this video, go to the link in the description and watch it. Then come back, because I want to talk about this. And I think once you've seen it, you'll want to talk about it too. If you can't see the link, just go to YouTube, search Ren, The Tale of Jenny and Screech, you'll find it. Watch the full video on his channel if need be. There's loads of reactors out there, so you could even watch one of the reactors to it, if that's what you want to do. But you've got to watch it. So that's it. I'm not going to say another word. Go away now and watch it. You've got to watch it. Please, just stop this video now. I'm not going to say anything else. Go. Jump away, go. Right, guys, I hope you've watched it. I hope you're over it emotionally. What a piece of art. Better than the Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. Better than Rembrandt's The Night Watch. Definitely than any of Henry Moore's sculptures. Better than probably even our own Constable, Haywain, and of course better than the bard himself, Shakespeare. Ren is our Shakespeare, and we are lucky enough that we live in a time where we've witnessed this. This should be in universities being studied. Definitely, people should be getting on their bikes and rushing through the streets, shouting the name of Ren and this song, and getting people to watch it. Everyone needs to see this. It is just masterful. There should be debates among friends. Everyone should sit around and talk about this thing, this creation, which is beyond music itself, isn't it? Everything about that video is fantastic. I cannot floor it in any way. It's probably the greatest thing I've ever seen, and I hope you agree with me. Now, this artwork, this creation, this masterpiece Ren has performed for us, because it's art, it can be interpreted in several different ways, and it's up to the individual to interpret what they see in it. I've watched a lot of reactors to this, and I've read a lot of comments about it. One thing which often crops up, which I don't believe is true, because anybody who knows or seen much of Ren knows he likes to talk about the dark and the light, the evil and the goodness. And what I see in Jenny and Screech is evil and goodness. What a lot of people I've read about think is that Jenny was a prostitute. It's not true, I don't think. The reason I don't think that is what I'm doing this little bit of video now. I'm going to break down all the characters over the next couple of weeks. And I'm going to start off with Jenny and why she isn't a prostitute, why she's good, and where she lives. Now, people think that she's a prostitute mainly because of this line.
She tried to find strength to move, but stayed as still as a statue in high-heeled shoes.
Because she stood as still as a statue in high-heeled shoes. So people interpret that as that she's 14 years old, she's out at night, and she's wearing high heels. She's got to be a prostitute. I don't think that's true at all. Ren is a very skilled wordsmith. Every single word he uses in this is there for a reason. Everything he does with the guitar is there for a reason. Everything he does has a reason behind it. And it's up to us to work out what that reason is. And for me, myself, to work out that Jenny was a good girl and not a streetwalker, we're going to have to go back to the very, very start of this bit of the video of Jenny's tale and listen to what he says.
Well, she knew this town, she knew this floor, because she walked it about 1,000 times.
Now, I've stopped it here deliberately. For a start, he said she knew this town. Not she knew this city, because they're in London, this town. That is the most important word. There are two towns in London. There's Kentish Town and Camden Town. And I think we are in Camden Town. The reason I think that is because of that picture. As you can see on the wall, there's a graffiti of a young girl with black hair, kind of smiling. Who does it look like? Kind of. It's got a little crown on the top. Who's the Queen of Camden Town? Amy Winehouse. She is the Queen of Camden Town. And what is Amy Winehouse's one feature which everybody knows about Amy Winehouse, apart from her magnificent singing voice, is her shoes. She either wears really flat shoes or high heels, often seen in high heels. In Camden Town, there are hundreds of graffitis depicting Amy Winehouse. Now, Jenny, as a 14-year-old girl, will see these all the time. She will be massively influenced by Amy Winehouse. Amy's songs probably spoke to her deep in her heart, and she followed Amy Winehouse. She loved her. She worshipped her. She would go and visit Amy Winehouse's statue, which even her statue depicts her wearing high heels. Jenny would have seen this. She wanted to emulate Amy Winehouse. Amy is her hero. Amy is her friend. Now, Ren in the song doesn't tell us what time it is. All he tells us is it was a quiet, dark night. Now, this could be in February time, say, when in London it gets dark at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, it's dark, 6 p.m. So walking home at 7 o'clock for a 14-year-old is not a big deal, is it? She's not out really late at night. The streets are going to be quiet at 7 o'clock, and I'll show you why. Because I think Jenny was working in Camden Market. And she worked in Camden Market because she wanted to be close to the statue of Amy Winehouse, which is in Camden Market. And she was walking to her house from work. She was working a Saturday job in Camden Market, and this is the route she took home. So here's Camden Market. This is on Google Maps. As we pan round, we come round. She comes out of the market and she's going to walk down this street here. So as we get into Hartland Street, we're going to walk along the street like Jenny did. Look to our right, there's a graffiti, the same sort of graffiti depicted in the alleyways which Ren was using. Ren was obviously in Brighton because that's where he lives. So Jenny is going to walk along this street. Now it is going to be quiet. It's a dead-end street, so it's going to be quiet. There's going to be no people around. There's going to be no cars. She's going to walk along here. It's quiet. It's fairly dark. It's night time. It's only 7 o'clock at night, but it's dark because it's winter. She's walking along and she comes underneath this bridge and turns this corner. Yet again, we've got graffiti on this corner, the same sort of graffiti in the video. And this corner here, I believe, is where she met Screech. On this very spot. This is where I believe Jenny got stabbed and died. Screech, then in panic, he was rushing, he was running, he came down here. He disappeared round the corner into the dark night. I believe one of these houses is where Jenny lived. Very nice houses. She lived with her parents, her adopted parents. They were well off. She was a nice girl. Screech, on the other hand, is running for his life. He's scared, he's panicking, he doesn't know what to do. He comes into this street and then he remembers he knows somebody in this street. He knows where they live. He knows that they live at number 54. Now, Ren could have chosen any number, but he chose 54. And this is the one. This is it. This is number 54. I believe this is where Patrick lived. Now, I'll be going into Screech and Patrick and all the other characters over the next couple of weeks. But I think I've put forward there quite a good argument to why Jenny wasn't a prostitute. She came from a good family. She was a good girl. She had a job. She was an innocent. And also, if you notice, Jenny doesn't say anything. Just like her mother, Violet, who was a silent girl, Jenny is also silent. She doesn't say a word. Not a scream, nothing is heard from Jenny. And yet we can work out so much about her. That's his genius. I hope that you enjoy this, guys, and that you don't think it's a bit strange. But if you've watched it, if you've watched this magnificent tale of Jenny and Screech and Violet, then you understand why I feel so passionate and why I think we need to talk about this. It is just that important. It is probably the most important thing I've ever seen. It's beyond words.